Well, welcome back to Leadership with Darrell W. Gunter. The objective of this show, it's simple and purposeful, to bring forth the ideas, practices, and ethics and morals that leaders must model. Leadership is not a title, it's a behavior. It is a responsibility. It is stewardship. On this program, we explore how accomplished individuals lead in business, academia, and in their community and in life, that each of us can elevate our own standard of leadership. Well, today I am so honored to welcome Philippe Theunissen. Did I say that correct?
Tunisia.
Theunissen,
Yeah.
who's the founder and CEO of OpenClaw Intelligence. Phil, welcome to the program.
Well, Darrell, thanks for having me. Good morning, everybody.
And also, I believe you're calling in from the Netherlands, correct?
Although today I'm in Frankfurt in Germany, but indeed I am from the Netherlands. Yeah.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So, establishing the core premise of the book and why AI agents represent a fundamental shift in business operations. You open the book with a story of Elena Vasquez, a Chicago logistics broker who was drowning in operational weight of her own success. You note that operational weight is the single biggest killer of small businesses. How do AI agents fundamentally change this growth ceiling?
Yeah. I think it's indeed very typical for so many businesses. Um, yeah, and then agents, AI agents, are then agents. You can see them as employees that just run on an AI brain, and you can tell them to do things for you. For example, making a proposal or just responding to an email. So your AI agent is then, well, I see them as a trained employee for you, but it's not a real human, but it is a bot. But it really fits into your company, it fits into your team, and it does things. And especially these administrative things, writing text, analyzing text, summarizing, responding. Yeah, I mean, AI can do that lightning fast. I mean, what we need an hour for, your bot can do in 10 seconds. And that speeds up so much of your administrative and operative work. It just comes in. There's a great response created by your AI agent. You approve it, or if you trust your bot enough, after a while, it can simply respond to customers, to partners, to other employees, and it speeds up these processes very big, and very big time. Yeah.
So, for our audience, a lot of my audience, they're just now becoming aware of AI. When
Yeah.
they hear AI agent, they go, "Oh my God, how do I go about creating this? What do I do? Where do I get started?"
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's so much. Well, everybody, what you said, everybody heard about AI. I mean, AI will change everything. AI will well. Sometimes they are afraid for their jobs. That is something I'm not afraid of. But your AI agent can run on, for example, OpenClaw. That is an open source package, and you just install that package on your computer. Well, I would advise you not on your main computer. Just give it a separate computer that is not having all your data on it. So on a separate computer, you install OpenClaw. You link then some AI brains. I mean, OpenAI or Claude is not possible anymore. Well, it's possible, very expensive. But so link a Claude AI provider to it. And then you say, well, I like to chat with it via WhatsApp or via Signal or via Telegram. And then you start talking to your bot. And then you give your bot a name. So, for example, I got Max. Max is my financial bot. So Max does my finances. So Max is then, and then you link your agents to certain systems. So I have my bank. I mean, the bank accounts API connected. Max has access. Max retrieves all transactions, puts it in the financial system, and this is the way you go about. So you think, well, what kind of processes do I need to automate? You add a new agent in your OpenClaw setup, and then you onboard that agent like an employee, and there it goes. And that's also the cool thing. As soon as you have your agents running, because they have an AI brain, they can program. If your bot, for example, says, if you tell your bot, print this file, please. then, but you didn't install drivers, doesn't matter. Your agent will first scan your network. Say, hey, I discovered this HP printer. Shall I install the driver for me, or am I allowed to print it? Yes, do that. You just say yes to it via Telegram or via WhatsApp, and then it installs it for you. And then so step by step, you can start optimizing your bots.
Wow, I'd like to unpack that a little bit. First of all, you suggested to set it up on a separate laptop, not your main laptop.
Absolutely, yeah.
And why is that?
Well, it's first of all security. That's one, and the second thing is also, I mean, your bot can do a lot of work, so it needs a separate machine. For example, if it starts programming, that requires quite some resources of your laptop, and especially if you start running two or three or five agents. Well, they are creating documents, reading, surfing. So it's, I mean, it's like an employee. You wouldn't like five people working on your same laptop. That's for one.
Oh,
But security is a very important one because it's open source. And everybody talks about installing skills. That means, I mean, you want to make sure that your bot can do more and more things. And instead of programming them yourselves or let your bot program that, you could install skills from yeah, Claw Hub, for example. But many people they also try to scam you then. So they write a skill with some malicious code in it, and then it reads everything what's there. So just be careful. Use, I mean, if you install OpenClaw skills, just only use skills from OpenClaw, and unless you're very certain it's fine. So it's just a security thing. So what happens on that laptop stays there. Don't add your personal files that you don't want to, yeah, lose or don't want to risk. So separate computer. That's and if something goes wrong, it's just reset the computer and all is fine again.
right. I love the word that you use. Um, that is that she was dealing with this operational weight. I
Mm.
haven't heard it used that way. I think I understand the definition, but for my audience, could you define operational weight?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, if you're a small business, for example, then first the founder starts a business. Say the founder is on herself or himself. Then yeah, the person starts doing everything, talking to customers, talking to partners to do things. Then you grow, and then you need to manage suddenly a team of 4 or 5 people. There's suddenly HR involved, some extra taxes. So you still need to have to do all the work, but there's so many extra processes that you need to take care of. So suddenly you are, instead of just selling and growing your business, you need to just make sure that it keeps running with the HR things and with the tax things that come look to it. And this is the operational weight that starts building. Yeah, and it slows you down because me, you want to build your business, but no, you need to respond and finish so many other tasks. Yeah, and then like in the story in the book, yeah, then what many founders do, they start just working longer hours, right? They skip a weekend, they just work until 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the evening. Yeah, and just to try to catch up. And if this happens, yeah, well, you're making mistakes. You're losing oversight. You're missing really customers. You make mistakes, and that is a pity. And then sometimes, and that is something with this growth gap. If you would say, well, I hire 2 or 3 more people, well, it solves a little bit, but not everything, because it just you need to change your processes. You need to make sure that you can really jump to the next level. And automation often helps in this thing. And then now looking at these OpenClaw agent or say agentic AI, well, you can really jump instead of say 1 meter, you can jump 10 meters ahead and solve so many issues. So it is really a game changer, this agentic AI. It helps a lot. And I mean, you just asked how to get started. I think one of the things that is really interesting for me to see is that it is much easier than many people think. It looks really daunting, but installing the OpenClaw, if you would say, I just play a few hours with it,
Yeah.
then it runs, and then give yourself a week to get used to it, and then you think, wow, this is so easy. I mean, I've been helping companies to just get it up and running. Everybody's afraid, but after 1 week, I think by myself, wow, last week you had no clue what you were doing or how to do it, and look at you right now. After
Yeah.
1 week, 2 weeks, it's amazing. And then after 4 weeks, then I come there and then I'm amazed what they built. Dashboards for themselves, new CRM dashboards, and I think one month, 4 weeks, and they all say it's easier than I thought, much because you speak with them through WhatsApp. And that's the change, the big change.
So I know I hear a question from the audience, and the audience is, I've heard of ChatGPT, I've heard
Mhm.
of Claude, I kind of not have heard of OpenClaw. What
Yeah.
is OpenClaw, and why should I trust it?
Yeah, absolutely. Indeed, if you look at OpenAI and Claude and Anthropic, these are what they call the cloud AI providers. So they really built the brains, right? And we all know they go to chatgpt.com and then start typing, get the answers. That's what many people do. But this OpenClaw is simply an open source software. It's built by Peter Steinberger. It's I mean, a great developer who entrepreneur. He sold his business 10 years ago, and he just writes fun. I mean, it's for him fun projects. And he said, well, I need to make this agent so that the agent is then you can see it as a person living on your computer, giving AI the ears and the eyes and but also the hands and the foot to really do things. And so he simply built it. He said, well, look, here it is for you, world. Yeah, and everybody said, this is amazing because suddenly what you stop doing if you install OpenClaw, um, then you say, well, this is your brain. So ChatGPT is your brain, but then you tell your agent, now you can also type, you can control my computer, you can, I mean, it also has my credit card. So when I say just buy this and this and this, well, my agent buys that stuff. So you give the brain, the AI brain from Claude, you give it to this bot so that it can start doing things. And this makes it really a human. And I mean, in the end, look, if and that is something, of course, Musk is also thinking about. He's building his robot. So and that is something we all have. So in the near future, we have a robot. That robot has an AI brain, and that oh, and it works like an agent. So it's really, I mean, all three components together. And but yeah, so the robot is next level. But for you on your computer, you got the ChatGPT brain combined with a digital body, and that's OpenClaw. And but it's true, should I trust it? And that's the beautiful thing of open source. I mean, everybody checked it. The code itself is really nice code. There's already a huge community building this,
Wow.
and it makes sure that you're independent. So it's you got your own independent bot working for you, and you can plug in any cloud AI brain.
Well, let's talk about the small business advantage. You
Yeah.
argue that the playing field isn't just leveling, it is inventing. Why do
Mm.
small businesses have a structural advantage over the large enterprise
Yeah.
corporations when it comes to adopting AI agent infrastructure?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And this is what I love about this technology, and also why I wrote the book, um, because you need to be fast, right? I already said if you start spending 1 day or 1 week with this technology, you well the things that you're doing with this are crazy, and a big company, well, so many layers of management, nobody's really willing to change. Who is going to decide this? Because and it is still quite disruptive, you could say. But so the big companies are slow in adopting. But as a small business, I mean, the small business owner, the entrepreneur says, well, I need to get a new edge. Looking at this technology, I mean, the entrepreneur can think, yes, let's do it. Yeah, and then, I mean, a few hours later, the bot is running. Your first bot is running in a few hours. It's really that simple. And then you can tackle process by process by process. And that is the beautiful thing. A small company, a company of 5 people, for example, 6 people, and I call it an AI enabled. So I mean, the company of 5, 6 people does all the processes. I mean, selling, developing, marketing, programming, finance. That is all done by your bots. So suddenly, all the processes are then have bots that just go much quicker. For example, I also Lulu is my marketing and sales agent. Lulu makes landing pages. So for example, we got products and say, well, your goal is to run, for example, a Twitter campaign. Your budget is 5,000, convert 2% conversion, please. Yeah, and then these are the targets we give to Lulu. And Lulu built she talks then with PT. PT is an IT bot. So Lulu talks with PT. PT makes the landing pages. Lulu sets up the marketing campaigns, and it runs. So you just everybody gets a CEO. You talk to your bots, and it starts executing, and then it goes so fast. So your landing page, your campaign is ready in 30 minutes. It starts running. Lulu checks every 30 minutes how good is it going. So suddenly, as an employee, you start managing your bots, and then it goes so much quicker. Instead of, well, you have an idea, and then you let it execute, and you get feedback back. So you just think yourself, how can I improve it? And then, but Lulu also has ideas. So it's so much more fun to work, and it is much simpler than you think, because the AI is smart. I mean, looking at GPT 5.4 or Opus 4.7, these are smart things. I mean, they figure out a lot of things for you. So you use that, and everybody gets his own manager. And then in a small company, suddenly 5 people, 5 AI enabled people, they can work like a company of 20 or 30 people, and fast, and it goes non-stop. Yeah, and this is suddenly a big company. Well, they will catch up. But now, suddenly, small companies can close a gap, because you and a multi-language 24/7. So suddenly, the small company
Yes, yes.
jumps ahead, and this is the beautiful era for us. Small companies, we need to adopt it, because now we can really gain against the big companies.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with Mr. Philippe Theunissen, who is the author of a phenomenal book called The Autonomous Business. Now, Philip, this book is available, of course, on Amazon, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do you have any book signings coming up over the next over the next few weeks?
No, well, I'm not in the US, unfortunately, but everybody who is in Holland, in Holland, there's a small talk coming up about AI and retail improvement.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, so I mean, if you're in Holland, just contact Darrell to get the details. But you're more than welcome to to listen to the talk in Holland.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's talk about the brain, the body, and the memory. You break down the OpenClaw platform into three components, which
Mhm.
we just discussed: the brain, the AI model, the body, the skill system, and the memory. Why is having a persistent local memory stored on your machine so crucial compared
Mm.
to just using a standard cloud-based AI assistant?
Yeah, yeah. Well, this is indeed a crucial point, because what happens if you use a cloud AI provider? All that you type will leave your network, leave your company, goes to the servers of a cloud AI provider. I mean, they say if you use the API, it's also much more expensive than the consumer product. Then they say, well, we don't train on your data, we don't store your data, but still, it still leaves your company. I mean, if you're working, for example, I mean, we also have a few financial companies that we're helping to automate. I mean, they are obliged to keep data private. I mean, it
Yes.
cannot leave their network. And then it comes to making sure that you have a local server, I mean, an internal server, install your own local large language model, your own AI model, and these are getting so strong for limited hardware requirements, actually. And
Hmm.
then suddenly you got your local model, you got your local database with all the files. So then you tell your agents, this is your local file. And that is the beautiful thing. The more you use your agents, the more it stores about you. So, for example, Daryl, then you say, well, if you talk to your bot about you're building landing pages, for example, to sell suits,
Right.
and then just an example, right? And then after 4 weeks, you told your bot, I really like this luxury feel. I just say something, so it starts remembering it. It starts collecting all the things. So it really knows how you really want to have it, how the business wants it. It combines it with the stats to optimize sales. So this is the long-term memory. The more you work with it, the better it understands your business, and the more effective it gets. by having this, and then you also have your local database with all the company files, so your identity, all your customers, all your proposals, all your logistics, all the problems you ever had. So it really knows who you are, who the business is. Yeah, and then it gets as smart as possible. If you don't have that, well, your brain, your agent is smart, but you need to feed it each time again, again and again, and then this can be tiresome. You think, well, and especially in the beginning, if you just install it, you need to make sure that it is called inter-session memory. I mean, if a new session starts, well, then it says, "Hey, hey, Philip, I'm Max. What shall I do for you?" So, well, you know exactly what to do, but then you need to remember it again. Say, "Oh yeah, thank you." And this is annoying in that sense. So that's why having this memory system set up properly is important, because it needs to know who you are, and keep on working with that build
Now,
up
your book,
experience.
you provide those instructions on how to set up the memory system.
Yeah, yeah, it's in the book. But the beautiful thing is also OpenClaw in that sense, really rapidly developing, and the basic settings of OpenClaw are almost perfect to really get the intercession and memory up and running. They call it active memory. So active memory needs to be enabled, and that's during the setup. You already say this, then that's the most basic thing you need to do. But indeed, for setting up a local database with your company files, well, this is something the book is not describing. That's too technical. So the book really focuses on giving you ideas on how to automate it, where to what to do, how to think, how to categorize the processes. What should you automate? What shouldn't you right now? What are the danger points? So you know how to set it up. But the beautiful thing is that also, as soon as you start your first bot, and then you say, well, I want to set up my local database, your agent knows. So it says, well, okay, let me do it for you. And then so your bot helps you set up your OpenClaw and perfect your OpenClaw setup. So it's so much fun. It's really fun to work with it.
And so, having a separate laptop, like I have a older Mac that I haven't
Mm.
used, but it works.
Yeah.
Is space limitations, or gotta have enough memory?
No, no, no. Really, I mean, an old Mac is really more than enough. So because the actual brain power comes from the cloud or from your local model, so that the thinking is done on that machine. So no, only if you would really program locally, then get a bit better computer. But I mean, people run OpenClaw on Raspberry Pis, small machines of $50. So it runs. So I mean, people are just installing OpenClaw on old Android phones. So it's no, I mean, an old MacBook, 5 years, 6 years, 10 years. I mean, that's really fine. Um,
I want to make sure because we have like 6 minutes left, but I want to make sure, can someone get in touch with you? Because you have a brilliant mind, you have a brilliant consulting business. How can they get in touch with you?
Well, thank you. Yeah, well, the easiest thing is to go to openclawintelligence.com. That's then the website of our, I mean, that's our website. On that website, I mean, there's also a lot of knowledge files to how to do this, how to do that. So we teach people or try to help people how to do things. And of course, we also help set up agent families then for companies. So yeah, through our website,
And
openclawintelligence.com.
so for those organizations in the US that would like to have you come speak, and if they're going to cover your travel expenses and all that good stuff, you're open to that, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Good, good, good. Because we have a pretty good audience here at Leadership with Darrell W. Gunter.
Yeah,
So,
thank you.
you mentioned, 24/7 sales support. You mentioned losing a $400,000 deal once because a salesperson simply forgot to send a follow-up proposal.
Yeah, yeah.
How does deploying a sales and customer service agent prevent these exact human errors and close the feedback loop?
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's such a big win for so many companies. Writing proposals is often a not so much liked task, because it's but a crucial task. So my agents, they have their own inboxes. Some also watch I mean, the general business inboxes. So these agents, I mean, your agents are watching your inboxes all the time. Suppose the lead comes in through the email. So it's scanned. It categorizes the email. Is it a customer? I mean, is it a proposal request, or is it just, I mean, whatever. But if it is a proposal request, I mean, it's already reacted to because you got your folder with previous proposals. I mean, there's a template built automatically. It fills in all the data. It gets from it contacts your CRM system if to see if it was an existing customer. If it is a new customer, I mean, it simply creates with the data it finds online. If it is a custom request, well, it prepares as good as possible and ask for proposal, ask for permission for the manager or the person managing that proposal coming in, and it simply prepares everything to make the proposal. And then if you say, well, that's fine, boom, send it out, and it replies to the customer. And if there's yeah, extra work there, it alerts you. And example also, I got one bot. And that's also really installed for so many customers. The summarizer, just to make sure, okay, everybody gets a summary of the day, what is important, what is open, what is left, and also if there would be a proposal that came in and didn't go out yet. I mean, it's on the person's summary, day summary. Means and I like this process as well. This meeting summarizer, and then it summarizes meetings. It puts it in the task in the project management tool to just make sure everybody knows what to do. And I mean, the proposal task is also in a project management tool for somebody to approve or not. So it is so much more difficult to forget it right now because you have a bot checking for you, are responding to emails. And it is not only proposals, also just a simple question. Hey, what are the opening times on Sunday? Well,
Right.
this is automatically answered, but suppose there was a question. I mean, big to small, your bots keep an eye on everything. And it's 24/7. So yeah, they don't sleep. They just make sure we people work faster and better.
Wow. And couple final questions here. The dark side and data security, automating bad processes. You
Yeah.
dedicate a chapter to the dark side of automation and warn readers not to automate bad processes. Can you share the story of the automated invoicing error that cost you 24,000 and what it has taught you?
Oh yeah. So indeed, if so we had a mistake on taxes, and especially for example in Europe. Yeah, we got a net 25 countries in the EU. The sales tax levels they differ between the 17 and 25%. So when you invoice, you need to make sure you invoice the right tax rate. And yeah, and that bot was simply ignoring the different tax rate, was just taxing the standard rate from Holland. Yeah, and then we had too much, we had too little tax, and in the end, yeah, we taxed too little. Yeah, and then the tax authority they simply say, well, whatever happens, your invoice, your end amount is the final amount, and from that you pay your taxes. So yeah, we simply send out the invoice amounts were too little. The Dutch tax authority said, well, fine, send us everything. Yeah, and then it's a stupid mistake from us, but we didn't check that properly enough. And then so this is still the whole thing. Whatever you do, yeah, you implement you automate a process, you check it, you double check it, you triple check it, and then you make sure that it works. And if it works and you're really certain, then you lose a bit control or oversight over it because then it works. But of course, once in a while you keep checking, and that's also why it's so important. Separate tasks. For example, I'm Max, but I already told you the financial agent checks the books in that sense and checks the accounting system. So if now another agent would start billing, which is not happening, but suppose it would happen, and using not the right tax rates, Max will find this, and so you got the quality control of other bots checking other bots, and you need to make sure you separate permissions and also tasks, because I mean Max is really now only invoicing. Nobody will invoice except for Max. So if a bot needs an invoice, Well, it simply speaks at max, and then so it's to separate the responsibilities. So you also make sure that not the whole company is doing the same thing, and then you get mistakes.
Yeah. Well, Philip, I want to thank you. You're the founder and CEO of Open Intelligence, Inc. Thank you for sharing your insights, your experience, and your leadership philosophy with us today. Please connect to the book's companion site, OpenClaw Intelligence, for model guides, templates, and tutorials. The autonomous business is available for purchase on Amazon and other outlets. To our listening audience, thank you for spending time with us today. If today's conversation added value, please subscribe to the Leadership with Darrell Gunter on your favorite podcast platform or YouTube channel. Share this episode with someone who aspires to lead with excellence. I wish each of you a productive and positive day. But remember, leadership begins with you.
Thank you, Daryl.